before. When we say, ikhwan, that it is wajib upon the women, just as it is wajib upon the men, to enjoin the good and forbid the evil, we say, ayyuhal ikhwah, that wajib and that wujub is found in the likes of the hadith and the statement of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as occurs in the hadith of Anas ibn Malik that was collected by Al-Imam Al-Bayhaqi, and likewise was collected by Al-Imam Al-Tabarani in Mu'jam Al-Awsat, and likewise Ibn Majah in his Sunan, wherein the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said, طلب العلم فريضة على كل مسلم. طلب العلم فريضة على كل مسلم. That to seek knowledge is فريضة على كل مسلم. Yani to seek knowledge of the deen is wajib upon every Muslim. And the term kul, yani the word kul, yani is a general word that encompasses every individual, upon every Muslim. Anyone who considers themselves from the Muslimun and from the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then to seek knowledge is fariḍah upon them. Yani it is wajib upon those individuals. There is a riwayah of the hadith and a version of the hadith that mentions wajibun ala kulli faridatun ala kulli muslimin wa muslima, that it is fariḍah upon every male and female from amongst the Muslimun, but that riwayah is a weak version, and the strong version is the mention of Muslim, yani, and that is sufficient to encompass the men and likewise the women. Now, so when we analyze ayyuhal ikhwan, when we analyze the Sahabiyat, and we analyze that which has taken place from amongst the women of the Salaf, we see without doubt, ikhwan, that the women always had a role, yani had a role from the early days and from early stages in the calling to Allah Azza wa Jal. And concerning this da'wah to Salafiyya, when we analyze, ikhwan, from the arkan, or from the issues, the major issues connected to this da'wah ila Allah, yani this da'wah to Salafiyya, is that we say that this da'wah to Salafiyya is a da'wah that is islahiyya. Is a da'wah that is islahiyya, yani it is a da'wah of rectification. It is a da'wah that seeks to correct that which has become perverted from the religion, and that which has become perverted from the morals and from the ethics, that which has become perverted and corrupted from the adab and the akhlaq, and from the aqidah, and from the manahij, and from the usul, and from the qawaid. Corrects that which has become perverted, ikhwan, and corrupted. And when that is the case, ikhwan, the Shaykh Muhammad bin Salih Al-Uthaymeen, he mentions concerning the affairs of Islah, that the Islah of the mujtama', that the Islah of the society takes place in two main ways, or has with it naw'an, yani is of two types. The Islah of the Zahir, yani the society in general, that which is apparent from the society, yani Islah in the marketplaces, in the masajid, in the workplaces, in the streets, and so on. Yani the outward Islah. And then he mentions that the second type of Islah, or the second type of rectification, is the Islah of that which takes place wara al-ha'it, that which takes place inside of the houses, and inside of the buyut, and inside of the homes. For indeed the mujtama' without doubt, the society without doubt, is comprised of those two affairs. Yani that which is within the homes, and the families, and the family unit, and that which is outside of that, from yani the interaction of the people, and that which takes place in the shawari' and in the streets and so on. So when the da'wah to Salafi is a da'wah that rectifies all of those yani mushkilat, the mushkilat in the mujtama', first and foremost the mushkilat and the problems that take place in and amongst the society and in and amongst the Muslimun, from a perversion in their aqidah and their usul, and a perversion in their manhaj and their outlook as it relates to the rectification of the ummah and so on. That is something, ikhwan, that is from the affairs of the da'wah to Salafiyya, and that this da'wah rectifies those affairs. Likewise, it rectifies that which is connected to the akhlaq and the adab and the mannerisms, and likewise it rectifies that which is connected to the ibadat, the acts of worship, and likewise it rectifies that which is connected to the mu'amalat, yani to the dealings and the transactions and so on. That which has become perverted from that, and yani bid'ah and so on has entered into that, then all of those affairs are corrected and rectified by the Salafiyun and by this da'wah al-Mubarakah. When that is the case, ikhwan, and with that being established, it goes without saying, ikhwan, that as it relates to the role of the woman in the da'wah, the major role of the woman in the da'wah is in regards to the second type of islah. That her role majorly revolves around the second type of islah. We don't say that it is confined solely to the second type, but we say majorly, and in general, it revolves around the second type of islah, and that is the islah of that which is inside of the homes. For indeed, ayyuhal ikhwah, the future generation of this Muslimun, and this future generation of Salafiyun, and taqriban, every the early beginnings of any individual in any nation starts, ikhwan, generally starts with their mothers. That they are nurtured upon that which they are taught from their mothers, generally in the homes before they leave the homes. They are taught and they are nurtured and they are given tawjihat and they are given irshad in regards to the affairs that are good for them and that are bad for them, and that which is correct and that which is incorrect, and that which is right and that which is wrong from their mother. So that nurturing, ikhwan, that begins, that every individual from amongst the mu'minun receives in the beginning of his life, takes place at the hands of his mother. And when that is the case, ikhwan, it is of major importance, therefore, that the mother is equipped with that which will allow her to be able to facilitate correct nurturing of the awlad and correct tarbiyah of the children from the early stages. Likewise, ikhwan, inside of the homes we have the presence of the akhawat, of the sisters, young sisters, and likewise young brothers. The women likewise have a role in rectifying those individuals and correcting them and giving tawjihat and giving nasiha. Likewise, as it relates to the parents and as it relates to the aqarib and as it relates to the relatives, those who she is able to interact with, then likewise, ikhwan, her role in the da'wah revolves majorly around those individuals who are inside of the home. And her interaction with them is more than likely going to be greater and more than the interaction of the men and the males of that family, although without doubt they too will interact and they too will be and pay and participate in the nurturing of those individuals. But when we have, ikhwan, the men being the breadwinners, or that they're supposed to be the breadwinners, it would necessitate from that they are going to be out of the home for periods of time, and then being out of the home is going to leave the job of nurturing those who are inside of the home to the noble Muslimah Salafiyah. Concerning that, ikhwan, we say therefore that for her to be equipped to be able to deal with that job and to deal with that task, it is a must that she equips herself with al-ilm al-shar'i, that she equips herself with the ilm of the sharia. And that ilm of the sharia is not something that is only for the men. The affairs of the aqidah, the asma'i wa sifat, the affairs of tawheed, the affairs of ibadat, the salawat and wudu and tahara and so on, all of those affairs are not only for the men to learn, rather those affairs, it goes without saying that the women, it is upon them to learn that and to have and make dabt of those issues and dabt of those masail, be precise in regards to their manner of learning that, and learn that with something from precision and correct understanding in order to nurture those who come after her.